I gotta remember that these things are using their normal movesets, not competitive movesets. I'm too used to roguelike or fan-made games putting in, like, this Pokemon suddenly has this move because we thought it was good, and the AI just uses it on repeat because it's the best thing to use. You might call it, like, well, it gets mundane after a while, but also, like, when you think about it, no? Makes it predictable and not just overpowered, because the whole idea is they're just playing like there's no risk. Yeah, no, like, there is some AI that is getting broken with that cringe. You're not wrong. They do need to fix some of that AI. I like them to fix that, but I don't mind that they don't just have perfect movesets every time. Because when you think about Pokemon, when I think about Pokemon in that sense, the issue is, like, we already have Kaizo ROM hacks, and we have other ROM hacks and fan-made games that have that difficulty. Whenever you play a game like this, where you're doing waves of fights, the opponent can always play like there's no bars held, or whatever the hell the saying is. And in Pokemon, it just doesn't translate the same way, right? The problem with Pokemon is the damage numbers are based on percentages and base stats and all other stuff. So when you have 5 trainers in a row that all don't care if they lose and they just use the strongest move nonstop, it doesn't translate the same way in a Pokemon game looking for that challenge that it does in other roguelike games or stuff like that. You know what I mean? If Pokemon had more rigid numbers that you could calculate a little bit better without having to bring out the calculator, sure, right? There is a place and a time for that to play that way. I just don't see Pokemon ever being like that. So any game that I see that just gives perfect IVs, it's a style, right? You know what I mean? It's a style. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think in a roguelike game, them being that perfect. Like, Emerald Rogue kind of does okay with it, because you know you're going to be expecting it. But the thing that holds you back is you definitely are going up against movesets that are way better than anything you're ever going to acquire. So it's the equivalent of, okay, your Pikachu can go as far as Shockwave, but their Pikachu's gonna have Thunderbolt. You know what I mean? Like, it's Pokemon. I say that a lot when I talk about my analysis of Pokemon. It's just Pokemon, right? You're complicating something that cannot be complicated without it feeling like you're ramming your head against a wall. You know what I mean? I do like the way this game does it. Where, like, you know these Pokemon will have Explosion, you pay the Explosion tax, right? You know this Pokemon's just gonna have Thunder, you pay the Thunder tax. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Because it's predictable, and you can look it up, and you can understand this Pokemon's not just gonna have this wild thing. Now, having said that, it also makes catches a bit mundane, so I do like the variety in the movesets, but it's variety of the movesets you would get normally leveling up. It's not just, oh yeah, I've taught all of these things TMs and have that. Unless they had hidden moves. That would be cool. If they had hidden moves that they could acquire just naturally and you have a chance to catch them. That's fine. I think perfected movesets nonstop, especially if you fought them in the wild, would just be... Well, they're perfected, so you don't even have to build them up. I don't know, just feels off. You guys get what I'm saying, right? You understand what I'm saying. Let's just go with that.